Yo, what's going on, people? Sounding excited in there right now. You know what? Let me just calm that down for a second. So, big up to everyone in the chat room. Yeah. If you want to get into the actual talk show, there's a link in the chat. Um, if you just go into the comments, I've left a comment with the link in the comments. So, I'm pretty sure you can click on that and jump straight into the chat. So, let's get straight to it. The question of the day: does technology influence us to spend more time alone? That's the question. The additional question is, are the effects positive or negative? And I want to hear people's feedback. You know, I'm hoping that everyone's had a chance to study the question, go away, have a little Google about it, have a conversation about it. Obviously, we always play a couple of tunes at the beginning of the show just to give you some time to warm up. Shout out to everyone who's already got the message, or if you've seen the advertisement and you're getting ready to jump in when you're ready. Don't feel pressured. But yeah, that's the question of the day. Does technology influence us to spend more time alone? And are the effects positive or negative? So, seeing as I'm here on my own right now, I'll be the first one to go. Why not? Might as well, innit? So, in my honest opinion, I think technology does definitely influence us to spend more time alone, because it's minimizing how much time we have to take doing certain things. So to that regard, it's minimizing the amount of help we need doing things. Obviously, on the other side of things, you've still got to look at the positives. It's helping us to be able to do things for ourselves without having to rely on others. Yeah, that's a positive, but then it's cutting down the interactions that we have with others quite drastically. On top of that, you know um not all of us are born with good people skills in general. Just being able to talk to people, to some of us, can just be hard enough as it is. So the less we have to talk to people, the less we're going to talk. Like that. So that could be a negative as well. It could also be a positive, because if you're just a naturally good people person, maybe you don't need to talk to people so much. But I think life is a double-edged sword. At the end of the day, everything has its good side and its bad side. But in, in all honesty, I do believe that it's true that technology does influence us to spend more time on our own. So we'll be in the house, and there's people in the house that you can have a conversation with. But what you'll find is that people are in the house having conversations on the phone. They're not talking to the people in the house no more, you know? And not just that, it's the fact that, you I don't know, how can I explain it? You've got a lot more freedom of expression with the technology, you know? So you can kind of get lost in yourself as much as you can get lost in Instagram looking at someone else. You can get lost in yourself. So I think the technology to that extent is kind of dangerous, because some people don't live in the real world anymore. Like that? They literally don't live in the real world anymore. Like, if they put up a picture and the picture don't get a like, it really affects them. Like, for some of us who came from maybe the generation prior to that, that never necessarily had all the social media, it might affect you less if you put up a picture and you didn't get a like. But to these to the youth of today, who's grown up in that generation of having that technology, these things are paramount to how they feel about their success, and their friendships and their social dynamics, XYZ. So I think it puts people into a bubble, so you kind of get lost in the technology. Like, you're in that little world. To you, that is how you're connecting with people, but technically you're not really connecting with anyone. Okay, we might have a conversation online. Yeah, okay, we might have a little, a message box online where we're talking to each other, but that's not really real. That's not a real interaction with a person. A real interaction with a person is face to face. I can shake your hand. That's real. I can really, listen to what you've got to say and see your, your whole demeanor, you know, everything behind the words, because body language is definitely a thing. I think sometimes we forget that these how important these things are, these elements, how important they are to life, you know. Um Obviously, one good side, one good thing about being online is it's going to be a lot safer for people to meet people who they might not necessarily know and have a conversation, because in real life, people sometimes they're dangerous, they're all sorts of things, there's all different types of people. So to that degree, I think it's fair to say that in real life it can be hazardous too, but I'm just saying the phone isn't real, like that. Out to Papa G. I know Papa G's coming to talk to me about the phone right now. I know you're coming to talk to me about the phone right now.
Yeah. How are you doing, guys?
We're all good out here, man. I'm everyone in the chat room. Hopefully they're good, but obviously it's just me and you here right now.
Is it?
Um, If anyone else wants to join the chat, the link is in the chat room in the comments. So make sure you hit the comments, um, the link in the comments, sorry, and join the chat if you want to be in the chat. If you don't like what's being said or you don't like the conversation, you think we're going off topic, whatever, feel free to leave comments, and also feel free to jump in the chat at any time, because we want to give everyone space to talk. So not everyone's going to come on here and be everyone else's cup of tea, but everyone's got opportunity, everyone's got a space in it. So feel no way in it, and I'm not holding no grudges or feeling no way. If I said some foolishness or I started chatting rubbish, feel free to tell me in the comments, Shiffa, you're chatting fart, you're chatting rubbish, whatever it is you want to say. Like in the comments, you can say whatever you like. We prefer, if anyone who's jumping on to talk, we prefer you keep it, clean as possible. Try not to swear, please. And yeah, just have a good time with it in general, man. And big up yourselves, people, man. Like, we've only been running live for the last couple of weeks. We done the pilot show. We had a good reception. We've done the last few days and we've been getting nothing but good reception, and we know that some, like I said, some people they may not like certain topics and like other ones more, and vice versa for other people. So everyone's gonna get their time. Everyone will get their due. Don't feel no way in it. And anytime people want to jump on, if you've got something that you're really strong on, a subject you're really adamant about, maybe jump on the day before, talk to us about it, and we might be able to put it as the topic for the next day. Depending on how big a topic it is, how everyone else in the chat room feels about it, and ultimately how the channel's feeling about it. And you know we're a show in it, we're here to put on a show, we're not here to just talk about things that are just a waste of time, basically. But I think this is definitely not a waste of time today, ladies and gentlemen. Like, explain it to yourself, listen to the question. Hold on. Out to Nadia. Nadia said, highlighted screen use becomes so compulsive that it leads to impaired daily functioning in terms of productivity, social relationships, physical health, or emotional well being. Thank you, Nadia. So, I know people are getting the point to what we're saying out here, is the bottom line. And I don't want anyone who jumps on, I want you to try and stay on topic as much as you can as well. Try your hardest not to steer off into something else that's more personal. Let's keep it, less personal, and just get straight to business. So, Papa G, I know
Mhm.
you've got something to say, man. You jumped in so quick, you must have something to say.
About what? Pick a subject.
So, the subject of today, can you see the questions coming up on this on the screen?
Not without my glasses on. Does technology
Influence us to spend more time alone.
definitely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a second question, an additional question. Are the effects positive or negative? So do you want to give us your take on that, Papa G? Because you got the floor right now. There's no one here to interrupt you, to get in your way, and these are the best times to speak, really.
No point then, is there? Is there? Nah, no,
No,
really.
these are the best times.
Technology is not brand new. You understand? What is brand new are 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds making apps. When we were young, we didn't know anything about apps, but we knew something about technology or the computer. Them time in 92 is when the computer was brought into the system. Yeah, me, Black Twang, and a few bony others went around schools and colleges talking about modem to your phone. Three different pieces to the back of your phone, and then you'll have a computer. Computer nowadays we knew it was going to take off. That's why I used to say to everybody, get digital, get digital, get digital, get digital. Everybody get digital. Yeah, when people were getting digital, or if they were listening, at the end of the day, there was an influx of digitality, because we had things called Sony, um, Panasonic. All these names were these people were digital. You understand, and that's the thing about the digital world. The digital world's a world where people can communicate with somebody else, and you don't have to be in the same room as them. It went a bit wild. You understand? It went a bit crazy. Yeah. Now, when it was like my age playing Dungeons and Dragons, we had to go to the cab office and put our 50p in. You understand? And then we can get a couple of games of Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody was an addict at the time. When you got this in your house, Street Fighter, oh God, that was something else. Man will come around your house and try and battle you. Now it's a thing when people don't have to come around your house. You got this thing on your headphones and your thing, and you're talking to him like he was there, and you're like,
Yeah,
killing.
yeah, the online gaming.
Yeah, some people don't even. I know a kid. Yeah, he's turned 21. I've known him since he was 7. Yeah, he's that's how he's lived. You understand? He's still a normal kid. Don't get me wrong, but he's not really passionate. He's not passionate. There's nothing there. A passion doesn't ooze off from him. He's quite straight. Everything about him straight. So I can understand. Like, I wonder why he is like that. You understand? And it's because he's been in his room talking to his veterans on the computer, but he see them at school, and they'll see you later. I'll talk to you online tonight. For a long time, I've seen it since he was 7. Yeah, so when he was 14, he had that. Now he's 21. He's still doing it. He's still talking to man them online. But he's not like he's not normal. Of course, he's normal. You understand? It's just that he's got no feelings. There's no feeling. He hasn't got. There's no empathy towards feeling. You understand? Like, you know, he just socializes with his mate, killing people online, and they talk to each other. Great, and then they see each other at school. I'm not from that world. I'm from a world where I'm telling people, oh, you've got to get digital. You've got to get digital. I didn't know digital was going to be some wicked thing by the end of it, but you got to remember, it adds up to sign a mark of the beast, and any barcode they have the 6 and the rest of the numbers 6, the rest of the numbers and the 6 at the end. Look at any barcode and you'll see it. I don't know why that is. I've never gone in that deep, but I did go in deep one time when Ruster told me. He says if you do your 6 times table and do your ABC and put your 6 times table under it. So A is 6, B is 12, C is 18, and so forth. And he said, you add up words like computer. When I added it added up to 666. So it's a no-brainer to me, because I've actually gone and done the exercise. You still listening?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Right. So when you've done that exercise and you've seen it for yourself, then you know the beast is coming. You understand? Because everybody's going to be. It's really getting cool digitalness. You understand? And so are the graphics, and so the green screen is impeccable. It's wonderful, and so is cinema. Cinema's gone nuts. So the computer could only get better. It was getting better. It was getting better. And then being Roots Maneuver and all that, we had tunes like we all at one, we all at one with the devil, we at one with God, we all on earth and we all at odds. WW. What remains? They're cloning in, they want to clone your brain. We were talking about it at least 15, 16 years ago. You understand? They want to clone in and want to clone your brain, fuzzy astrology, and all this kind of things. I can't wait to play you that tune one day. But at the same time, if I knew it was coming and it's just gone wild now, and they want more, right? I don't blame them. They want more. It's fucking brilliant, computer. It's brilliant to see what you want when you want to see it. But the cost, when they're talking about 5G and they're talking about the birds, I am wondering, the birds talk to each other in song. and they talk to each other just by body language and movement. I don't know how they speak to each other. I don't even know how horses speak to each other, let alone cows and cats and dogs. But you see the frequency. I don't know about that frequency. You understand? But when I'm seeing on certain meters that there's radiation, I get skeptical just like the next person. So I don't know. But computer has a plan, and the next phase is to enslave man and man. They half of them computers have taken our jobs away, not just as parents, not just as workers. You know, when I'm doing a crane job and I'm delivering cranes, I'm delivering computers really that are cranes. A computer is inside the crane, right? So when they're putting up the building and the glass in the building or anything to do with the crane, it's already programmed in. You ain't gonna need a middleman. You ain't even gonna need a ladder because you've already on the crane. So computer has gone so big and so deep they don't know what to do. The other side of it and the other side of the coin is that now we've got laptops, Wi-Fi machines, and kind of like androids and telephones and all this stuff, and you got to wonder how they're made. Do you know there's gold inside those phones? So if you got a million phones and everybody gives you a million phones, do you know how much gold is inside those phones? There's a little bit of gold in there, you understand? You just got to Google it how to get it out. You understand? On YouTube, it'll tell you how to get the gold out the phone. But some of those phones are all made and all come from Africa, not made in Africa. Just the materials, the stuff that's inside the phones comes from those countries. You understand? Especially Africa and the Congos. If you ever seen what they've done to the Congo, meaning the Chinese man, there's a hole as big as England in the Congo. I'm like, fucking hell. YouTube it, you're gonna see it, right? And if you want if they want them, they don't mind killing Africa and making it become below sea level and even below by digging a hole as big as they have. But if you ever saw their lorries that they're using to get these minerals out the ground and these elements out the ground so they can build their technology with their, understand, that lorries the size, the one wheel is the size of is the size of my dad's house, one wheel. So when it's like what they putting inside these lorries, how come there's a hole in the Congos the size of England? You've got to think to yourself now, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? You understand? Africa's always getting bullied. Right now, the Chinaman's gone back to Africa. Why does it want to give 50 billion to Africa? I beg they don't take it. I beg they don't take it because they ain't gonna have much of a country left if they give it to the Chinese man. The Chinese man are gangsters. They're merciless. They have no mercy for land or people. They just made an insult of animals, an insult. You understand? On social media where they're frying them live.
Can you see the comments coming up on the screen? So I just want to read that couple of the comments. Out to Nadia. Nadia said, "There's ample evidence that screens trigger a release of dopamine, which
Mhm.
eventually wears down those pathways in the brain and
Yep.
increase the demand for more stimuli. Genetics also plays a role in how people respond to dopamine." And side effects of dopamine include irregular heartbeats, nausea, vomiting, anxiety, headaches, chills, goosebumps, shortness of breath. So, if anyone's experiencing those symptoms after looking at a screen, you know what time it is. Out to Torok. Yeah, big up yourself, Torok. He was on there yesterday. We was having some good talks yesterday with the guys. Peace to everybody in the chat and more like silver. I think he might be referring to when you were talking about the gold, but I'm not entirely sure because obviously it's not very detailed comment. But yeah, big up yourself, brother Torok, man. It's always nice to hear from the brothers them. But like I said today, I just want like Gordon G, everyone to
Yep.
follow that method there. He's sticking to the topic. We want to relate everything back to the topic. We don't want to get too personal in here today, all right? So I'm gonna let Papa G continue.
Well, I'm saying technology's gone in a lot. Technology's only kicked off for me in 1992. I can't remember how old I was in 1992, and we won't go there. But how old was you in 1992, and how old was your other listeners, or how old was the lady who just done that wonderful comment? And she's so right, because you know, dopamine or not breathing air or running or exercising. These kids nowadays, yeah, they get everything they want. Any pagan festival, meaning like ritual, like harvest festival, Easter, Christmas, all of them really. There's always something where the kid's gonna benefit, or I don't know. I love a bit of alcohol in any pagan festival myself, but at the same time, I don't believe for one instance that the computer is a good thing. I believe it serves its purpose, but it's a bit too much. You know. But if we're gonna, you can't, like, for me, I've gone through all the genres of music: rocksteady, ska, ragga, jungle, hip hop, jungle, speed, garage, grime. I understand all of them played a part. But remember the first thing that made those beats? Atari. Atari computer was the first thing. You got Atari, then you were making music. Got Cubase and certain things. So it had its values, but I understand now that there was influx of Chinese people doing IT. There was a flux of Indian people doing IT. They were killing IT. How come black people weren't killing IT? But they are. There was just a handful. You understand? Not as much as they are in Chinese or Indian doing IT. You understand? Now, fancy that you've got to work at home because of this COVID-19, and all the people who's really good on computers are going to smash it, and all those people who's just mediocre is still working out how to do it. But computer is just the same as driving a car, or just the same as you getting a new mobile phone. You have to play with it. You have to be messing around with it. You know, I spoke to Phoenix today because he's whacked out some sound bites for us, left, right, and center. And I wonder how he does it. You understand? He's quick. He's fast. He's quick. He's fast. What do you say about it? How do you like it about it?
Well, I think, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, technology can be good, yeah, in certain aspects, but in certain other aspects, like the one I've identified in the question, does it influence people to spend more time on their own, hence making people more lonely, you know um also making people have less interpersonal skills, so they find it more difficult to communicate with each other on a social level outside of the computer. When they're in the computer,
I
they got
don't
all the
believe. I
confidence
don't
in the
believe
world.
that. I believe it all depends on how old you are. That's all I.
Yeah,
That's what.
on it, depending on the age, yeah, definitely.
Huh?
Yeah, I
Depends
definitely
what-
agree with that.
Yeah, because you see, I noticed one time I went round your mum's at Christmas. I think we were all there, and these kids were so happy, but they were playing computer. Can you remember?
Yeah.
And I thought, like, you want to sing some Christmas carols and join in and hang out. Christmas was out the window. It was just on the
Are you
computer.
seeing
They just,
are you seeing on the screen though? It says a 32. This is Nadia again. She says a
yeah.
32-year-old man was found dead in an internet cafe in Taiwan after a marathon 3-day gaming binge. The island's second death of an online gamer this year. So much of a distraction that the guy didn't eat or drink or anything. He just sat there on a computer game like he was alive inside the game. I don't know. Maybe he lost the plot.
And he died, yeah.
He died on the computer, just like going crazy in there, shooting people and that. He was excited, was he? I'm not sure.
I don't know about that world. You know what? You know what?
That
To tell the
sounds
truth,
crazy.
I don't know about that world because I'm not really. You see, my dad. My dad's a gambler. My dad's a gambler. Not like he gambles, but I've never put my money in the fruit machine. Have you ever put money in the fruit machine? I ain't ever put money in the fruit machine. I don't do that with my money.
I'll be honest,
So
I
that's
have
the
put
same way I
money in the
treat
fruit machine a couple
gaming.
of times. A couple of times I have back in the day. At to Torok, he says
Mm.
digital music and he says cheap labor in Asia that's why they moved the communication companies. I don't know. I think maybe you should direct that comment a little bit more for us, Torok, because I'm not. I kind of get where you're going with it, but is that in line with the subject? It somehow talk to us anyway. Out to Pinero's mind. Anyone who wants to join the chat, hit the link in the chat on the YouTube. Sorry, Papa G, I didn't mean to interrupt you like that, but I just put the link up for everyone. So yeah, I think that definitely this technology thing has its good sides. It's got its upsides, in the aspect of being able to do work faster, you know. With the 5G, it's more about the download speeds. So if you've got a really quick computer.
Listen, you see when you take your family out to the theatre and you see a play. There used to be some guys at the back pulling some ropes, which change the scenery at the back or bring the curtains in,
Okay.
Now it's all done on jobs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we was kind of touching on this yesterday.
So
That's why it would be a good thing to talk about this today as well. But obviously, with the side of it taking people's jobs, I'm not really trying to focus too much on that. But then, if you ain't got no job, then
focus on this a little bit, and then I'll try and stray off that subject. I'm like
stay on it though, because I just thought to myself, at the end of the day, if you're not at work, then you are spending more time on your own. You are ostracizing yourself more again.
Chief, listen to this sentence. I deal music, so I need a computer, no matter what, and I need a new technology that comes out of it. Now you don't need a studio, you've got it in your house. You can go to Music House, and anything you made in your bedroom, you can go and master it for 35 on another computer. It's brilliant. You can get to do that. But a kid's just made an app, So I said to this kid, you're on your way to be a millionaire. He's gone, I've gone, yeah, man, you're on your way to be a millionaire. This is a really good app you've just made. I goes, where did you learn that? He said, college. I said, how long did you do that for? He said, 3 years. I felt I'm stupid, aren't I now? I said, how old was you 10 years ago? He's told me 12. So it's the way they have the new future for the new kids. When kids do music, you have to like what it is. You have to like this trap music or this drill music, or you have to hear it, because the kids are going to make it. They're the next generation, whether you like it or not. They're the next generation. You're right. Cool. You're yeah. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I think that's inevitable, man. That life goes on.
Yeah. So the kids are changing with the evolution of the computer. So we don't know what it might bring. You understand? And with the technology, what they're doing and what they spend hundreds of millions of pounds on, is making robots to fight for them. They got this thing called drones, man, and you work it from your your control. You're controlling it. You understand? It's a different thing. There's loads of different aspects to a computer. Virtual friends.
But then
Now they
when you
got
say virtual friends and all of these things, and obviously we've clearly outlined that, the question of the day, was that, does technology make us spend more time alone? Yeah, it does, definitely. But then, is that a bad thing or is it a good thing? Can it help us to become, more self-sufficient? Yeah, I'd imagine so. But then does it make us less adapted to social environments outside of the computer? That's what I was really pointing out. But I'm assuming there could be other things. There is other things that it's going to affect as well. Like if you imagine back in the day, if you wanted to make music, like you was referring to music, you might have to get together in a band. And there's a few guys that got together in the band, and you got the singer and you've got the manager, you got all these people that's there talking and conversing, and that's how you're developing as a person, developing your skills and communication. But now everyone's online. You don't even need to see no one. Just send me your riff. And then one guy's in his studio cutting it all up, puts it all together, bang, send that to the mastering guy.
They know. They know that this computer thing is the only way people can communicate. They've been locked down. They need that G5. just so they can pick up certain information. You
I hear
know,
you.
it's just there's inundated of information. It's inundated.
See, but that's a negative side of the 5G that people like to talk about, that everything's going to be monitored. But obviously, right now,
Yeah,
we're just here to talk about as far as the technology influencing us to spend more time alone and what the effects of spending all this time on your own is. Because I
yeah,
think, honestly, when you're on your own too much, sometimes you can get into your own thoughts a bit too much as well. And then, things that, you know, might not necessarily be fact or necessarily be true. You can perceive them to be true because you're the only voice you hear. You don't hear anyone else's reasoning behind certain aspects of life. You only got your own reasoning to go by. You know, I think
yeah. But
sometimes we can normalize our own behavior and not realize that our behavior is abnormal.
listen,
I
I've
think
got,
we
I've got
we
a
can
cancer
normalize our
friend,
own
Brian.
behavior
Yeah,
and not realize that our behavior is abnormal. Sorry, Annie, could you turn off that in the background or mute for us?
I did. I did.
How you doing anyway?
I'm good. How's everyone?
Not too
or
bad. Hopefully you've seen the question of the day, or questions. So I'm gonna put them up on the screen again for you. Me and Papa G were just having a conversation about it. So the question is, does technology influence us to spend more time alone? And are the effects positive or negative?
Mm. So I think it definitely does encourage us because it's basically you've got everything at your fingertips. So, you can FaceTime with friends. You can basically I always have my WhatsApp up on my laptop anyway. So if I get a WhatsApp, I can talk to them on WhatsApp. For me, definitely, it does encourage me to spend a lot of time on my laptop because I've got a TV, but I don't put it on because I'm trying to keep away from all the fake media news. So for me, I'm doing a lot of research um, by myself. It's not like you can sort of like, oh, I'm going down my friend's house and I'm going to go and do this. You're basically trying to entertain yourself, and the TV's not going to entertain you. Yeah, Netflix is for me only so much. So for me, yeah, it's a lot of YouTube. And what was the next part of the question? If it makes us what? Antisocial.
well.
Does it make us antisocial, did you say?
Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of aspect of it is definitely something we're looking into. And
Yeah, I
obviously not
think
just
it does.
antisocial, but does spending more time alone have a negative effect on people, or does it have a positive effect on people? And why would we? Why? What evidence can we bring? To back that up. Why would
I
we
mean,
come
it
to us?
depends. I thought you were talking about if they spend a lot of time on the computer being alone. But for me, being alone, it's been a good thing. I think I've actually, had some time to reflect and look at myself, speak to other people, see how they're feeling about life in general. I think it's a cleaning time, cleansing time. But for younger people, I think it's difficult, and they will get stuck on a lot of social media and games and things like that, and mind brain deading games, that are not going to really stimulate them in the long run. And
Yeah.
I think parents, this is a time for parents to actually start interacting more with their children. you
See, one of
know
the one of the points I pointed out earlier on was with like the phones, the social media. There's no
mm,
need now for the old school method of, all right, we're all gonna meet up down the park, or we're all gonna meet up by the shops, we're all gonna meet
mm,
somewhere, and we actually interact with each other on an interpersonal level. Interpersonal now is we'll link up in the WhatsApp chat room,
in the game room, yeah, the
in the
gaming
game
room,
room, or we'll link up on Facebook and have a chat. You know,
yeah, yeah.
have physical interaction as much. Now, obviously, I think for some people, it makes life easier because, especially for people who know a lot of people, you have to see a lot of people in a day. You got a lot of people all around the world and you live in one country. So,
Mhm.
you know, to get around the place and to, you know, make people more accessible, I think definitely it's a tool that can be implemented in a way where it's going to benefit some people. I also think on the flip side, for some people, you know, if they're kind of reclusive already and very introverted, then, and you know, they don't really speak a lot anyway, they're quite antisocial anyway, it's only influencing them to be more antisocial.
I agree, because you know, I think even young people, it's hard to even get a word out of them now. You speak to them and they're like half brain dead. They don't even want to talk. But give them their, you know, they
I think young people have been like that forever though.
nah. Since I don't know how old you are. Who said that? Who said that?
That was me. It was me. But obviously, I'm only got out, for instance, like
Shiffa, how old are you?
I'm not that old, but I'm not that young. But I'm saying
Exactly.
if you go out, for instance, yeah, if we go by, you know, the what are they called, the stereotypes that we see on TV and stuff like that in programs. I know programs that are older than me, and the young people in the program are always depicted as being a bit ignorant, you know, because they're young, they're a bit naive. We're
Oh
naive.
no, yeah. You're gonna have adolescence behavior. You're gonna have adolescent behavior because that's all to do with hormones. Between 11 and 18, even sometimes up to 21, people's hormones have not balanced out. But on a whole, they weren't. Young people were not just stuck on computers. This is like in the last 30 years. Children are born
Yeah, I
more into
was just saying,
computer age.
I was just saying that to Shiffa. It's only happened in 1992 because I was going around schools and colleges with Black Twang, talking about modem. You used to put it to your phone and your computer, and you can get online through the digital line. But now they got fiber optics, and it's just
Black
everywhere.
Twang. Black Twang. That reminds me of something. Black Twang.
Black Twangs was it's just a rapper from South London at the time. He's done pretty well. So rotten is this tune. So rotten. Why is it?
Come back. I'm gonna come back.
Who's that in the background?
Hmm?
I can hear someone in the background. Little girl.
Yeah, it's just my daughter. She's like,
She sounds
she,
cute.
yeah, you know how they are.
Oh, I love them. Children are the best, man. They're the best in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Until they get to an age where they just get broken. Do you know what I mean? And it's just their innocence, really. Their innocence. They just get cheeky and rude and horrible.
Can
But
I
I
just
feel
say,
like,
while we're just chatting, for everyone in the chat room, like, keep leaving your comments. I'll make sure the comments go up. If you got any questions, make sure you put question marks at the end of what you're writing, because when they come up, someone on the panel might be able to answer your question. And yeah, like, obviously the question of the day is up on the screen. So if we can try our hardest, you know, to keep to that. And you know, we want to be discussing the effects, really, more than anything, of spending more time alone and getting more influence by technology.
yeah, well, they do. And the influence is that they're going to be antisocial. They're not going to be able to socialize. It's going to be very hard for them to strike. I mean, especially boys. Boys are already known to, you could put a group of boys in a room and sit them down. They won't speak to each other, but you put a group of girls, they'll soon get chatting about this and that and here and what's not. The most that boys will probably end up talking about is football. What team do you support in? If they even get their mouth open. So definitely going to make them more antisocial.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. What do you say about that? That's why I'm saying Shiffa keeps on saying stay to topic, and I don't even know the point that everything's going to revolve, everything's going to evolve, everything's going to go through its changes. You know, everything's been a blueprint. When I was young, I used to watch Star Trek. It's funny that everything on Star Trek is the truth now. Like the mobile phone, pick me up, Scotty. Everyone walking around with iPad, doors opening up when you walk towards them. Everything's that way inclined now. It's a blueprint. Now you've got CGI and all these other movies that they're just making blueprints. That's why it's kind of ironic that in this time of COVID-19, there's loads of movies on Netflix and some that were made near enough 10 years ago. The virus one, I was like, flipping hell. Look at those actors in there. They look young. So that movie was made ages ago about the pandemic. I'm like, you know, half of this stuff is blueprints, and then when people are writing things or making things, everything's like a blueprint for the future. You know, it's just people who like, you know, they don't think black people are smart with computers, but we've got a handful of nerds. We've got a handful of nerds, just like everybody, like other countries have got their hands full of nerds. You understand? But when they're saying, does the computer tap into your personal world? Because we want it to.
Back in a minute,
If you
guys.
don't want the computer, I've got enough mates who ain't got mobile phones. They got shutter phones. They ain't got no digital phones because they know they don't want to be tracked. They just know that. They live that life. You understand? And if you want to get them, you would have their number. They don't do social media. They don't get down like that. But the
Yeah.
normal person, they want to get social media. They want lipstick and perfume and makeup, and they want bling, and they want to show off, and they want to lie. Someone lie. You understand? And make them look, then glorify themselves. You understand? Now, computers a thing where a man control a ute on there, little paedophile them, and go and find them, and the computer's setting them up anyway. I've seen some big man come to meet some young girls. Somebody sent something, all because of social media and social networking and social stuff like that. Right now, right now, computer is the devil and the mark of the beast. No matter which way you look at it.
I hear you still. Obviously, though, like there are positive uses of it and there are negative uses of it. Definitely, we're 100%.
Negative. I've got to come. Listen, I would leave this. I would leave this conversation in a minute. You tell me what's positive about positive. Half the people right now are going through something, yeah, and they're going to be blaming 5G. They're blaming it right now. They're talking about radiations and COVID-19.
No, obviously that side of it,
More
that side of it is all the negative, but obviously on the positive side of the actual having computers, for instance,
right now we're in our house. We're in our house under this. We're in our house, yeah, and we're glad we got social network. I think we can have these conversations right now. I can go and I've never been a PlayStation man or X man, so I go and then people who are Xbox man and a PlayStation man, I wonder about those guys. I just wonder, me naturally, my own wonder about them man relation. But if you're occupying your time and you're really good at it, no one can't knock you. I see people making YouTube like gamers, like come and look at me, look at this, I'm murdering all these people, rare, ain't I cool? It's kind of straight off the topic, or is it on the topic? Because really and truly, you're the biggest gamer I know.
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest gamer,
You
but
can do it willy nilly.
I could put the
I'm
game on
just
the
saying,
screen.
I don't know how to
Kill
press the
some
button.
people. It's not a
I
thing
don't
on
know
Call
any
of
one of
Duty.
those buttons are for. Personally, don't know what any of the buttons.
Yeah,
So
but
I don't play games on them.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted to the game like that. I can live without it, but I get
every single all the buttons do. You know what they do. I've seen you do jump, spin, and kick in the air. I don't know how to do that.
I should have
I
laughed.
see you go back and kick a thing. Yeah. But if you're playing man like miniature and all them man, that's your competition when you're growing up. You understand your cousins and your family or whatever, or your brother or your sister. Is it competition? I don't know. The social life is like it's not like how we know it like this.
Yeah,
But we're
but
gonna
the
need our
social media is
computers.
no different though, Papa G. Like the social media is just a different type of game. So you're winning when you're getting likes. You're not winning when you're not getting likes, and people ain't hitting, making comments. So that's what it's all about. It's about the likes, the comments, and that's how you're winning the game. That's how you're building your score in it. That's how you're scoring points, followers. It's all of that. So when they don't get likes now, they're really upset. They're really down about it. And everyone else is getting likes and followers and subscribes and comments and stuff. It does definitely have an effect on the way they look at themselves.
Yeah, but you know what? I realize that I'm on my own anyway. I'm on my own with my way of thinking. I'm on my own with my plans. I'm on my own with my money. I'm on my own. You understand? I don't give a monkeys personally at my age about the country. Sorry, I didn't swear. I'm trying to focus on like, so what's the big deal? Everybody's on social media and the network, and they need it. They need to sell music on social media now than ever. That you've got no feeling. You can't even see no one perform. They've got to do their performing through digital. So the world's going digital. It's just the way how they perceived it to be. They're trying to stop people from going out the house. Like in the old space movies, like Resident Evil and all them. People don't come out their house. They don't come out their house. There's only the freaks come out at night. Only the freaks come out at night. So it's just getting that way. And so is perversion. And so is selling sex on the social media and all of that. So it's just bad. But it is the future, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. And it's all bad. I don't mean to put a downer on anything, but
Yeah, we're
what does
here.
anybody expect?
You got a right to have a say, just like anyone else has got a right to have a say. So this is really just your perspective, like each to their own perspective as well. So I don't want anyone listening to
I,
the show
I, but
to feel down
personally, me,
or anyway.
I
Like this
don't.
is just Papa G's perspective.
Personally, me, Shift, I don't know how to play PlayStation. I don't know how to play Xbox. I've never played a CD. When I first had a PlayStation, it was a tiny little thing. You understand? I still got it in the cupboard somewhere, but I can play CDs from it and stuff like that. But I've got a CD player. I haven't got to do that no more. So I haven't got one. I suppose I'm not hungry to play games on it or find out anything about it. My phone, I know how to use 40%, maybe 42% of my phone. My son knows 90% how to use his phone. I still got loads of memory on my phone. I still got loads of memory. If anything, the photographs and the WhatsApps take up all the memory, and I have to erase it. Otherwise, I have to say, oh, don't ever save it. Or you have to learn how to use these digital uses. Like how I like looking at the YouTube. My YouTube in his car, he's playing music from a video in his car. We can watch it while he's driving and listen to quality beat sounds. You understand? It's nuts. You understand? So, it's something that's always going to be here now. I don't see it going anywhere. But you see this thing called electricity, more than carbon soil and carbon, or did they got rid of they don't use coal as much now, but they're going to have to make for a form of energy just to keep electricity going and things. All these things used to churn and they used to make power. How are they making power now off, say, the sun? They could have given Africa what those things that are on your top of your roofs that bring in electricity from the sun. All those things yeah, solar pads and things now. Different kind of technology. It's a different kind of electricity. They want electricity cars because they realize that the earth air can't sustain the pollution. It's because of this little COVID-19. China went down. That pollution levels went down. So it's a part of everything, isn't it? And is it the way forward where they don't have to burn coal? They don't have to be burning coal no more because they've got digital computer stuff. And the more people play with it, the more they get more knowledge about it.
Yeah.
But when you say, does it stop people from going out and integrating with people? Listen, we was allowed to dance, go to the clubs. Now we can't go to the clubs and go to the festivals. You're gonna need your little device. So, oh yeah, please, I'll have some of that. Yeah, but I don't think for an instant it's not a good thing. And socializing with the kids can't even. I don't understand the new generation of kids. I just dealt with the millenniums, the ones that are born in 90s and 88 and stuff like that. They're about 30 now. The ones that are 27 and 25, they are a stubborn breed. They absolutely know what they want and will get what they want by hook or by crook. And you see the ones younger than them, I don't understand them ones. Them ones, if you understand them, you understand them. I'm got a daughter who's 13, and her social media, when she's on it, she's funny with it, but she's nice with it. It's not. But I worry about her what can I say, and her looks as she becomes a woman, a young lady. You understand? So I don't know. I see when you're saying the positive sides of it, you tell me what's positive
The fact that
over
we can
Roger.
connect with people a lot quicker, information can spread faster, you know. We can gather information quicker, you know. We got access at our fingertips at any given moment in time. So a lot of things that were out of reach before, a lot of things that were unachievable before now become achievable.
Wonderful.
So that's one good aspect of the technology. You know, obviously for people who like you got people with prosthetic limbs, you've got people who are in wheelchairs and you know motorized machines where they don't have all of their body functions. So, you know, they might need a bit of assistance. So that's where the computer being able to assist you comes in handy, you know, when you're driving your car and your power steering kicks in, you know, and things like that. You know, technology definitely assists us, you know. um as far as I'm concerned, you know, when we're saying does it make us spend more time alone, my main concern with this conversation is, you know, what are the effects of us spending more time alone? Because, you know, we're a people, we're a society of people, a community, a country of people who, you know, we build together. That's what makes the country great. If we weren't building together, then, you know, there'd be a lot less getting done, long story short of it. So, you know, for me, that's one side of it that I can see as a negative. But I do see positives as well, like I said, in the sense of people being more self-sufficient. Because, you know, nowadays, if someone wanted to, say, for instance, you just moved out of your mum and dad's house and you want to make something to eat, you don't necessarily have to call mum anymore and get her to come round and show you anymore. She can do it on her camera. You can just like give her a video call, or you know, you can go online and watch someone else do it and learn your own way, you know. So there's so many more avenues for the younger people of today.
Yeah, wonderful.
So what do you, obviously you think it's all negative, so do you not see any positives, Papa G?
Yeah, I've seen it since 1992 and things have changed. But what I've come to notice, come to realize that the Asian man and the China man,
Yeah, I'm not sure what either. He's back.
somebody else's
Papa G,
minerals from the ground and rape them because of
you're
these
gonna
technology.
have to start again, you know. You cut out and then your thing fell out of the signal and then jumped back in. So do you want to start
Yeah,
again?
yeah. This technology is making other people rape other people's country, and I've got a problem with that.
Yeah, that sounds like a problem. Talk to us about that. I think his signal's gone, possibly signals cut out. But yeah, I think what you said is definitely relevant, you know. When countries are getting their resources taken and aren't getting a fair price for their resource or whatever the scenario may be, like I think there's a definite problem in that, because the demand for these things is only going to continue to grow. You know, like that. One person gets an Xbox and a phone, everyone wants an Xbox and a phone. That's the nature of people, you know. So
Yeah, I think I just cut out so I had to boot back in again.
yeah, I realized.
Yeah. What I'm talking about. I'm saying technology is making them kill Africa again just for mineral, just for the minerals that they use to make this technology with. It's they're raping. Black Africa's got a fight again on its hand. How comes everybody's always bullying Africa?
I have no idea. Talk to us, man. Like, obviously, Africa's got a lot of resources though, so that could definitely be a reason. But I don't want to like start putting my finger on a button and saying that's the definite button to push, because I'm not 100% sure. But we could speculate a little bit.
Yeah. Well, my dad's phoning me now on the other phone, and I've got to talk to him. So let me see how he's doing, and I'll come back to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Roger, Rog. All right, cool.
So yeah, like I think everyone's probably, in their own thoughts about this subject, because each to their own, innit? Like I see good and bad sides to everything. That's just the nature of me, innit? But then everyone else will see things their own way. And I think like ultimately when I really think about this subject, the main problem that I could see is that people are going to be ostracized on their own. Because if everyone's in their phone and got so much to do and connecting, and people get left behind, no one's got time for them. Like I get that, that's part of the human evolution as well, though. Like, we've got to aspire to do better and do more, and we push ourselves. That's what we liked. We enjoyed, some of us, pushing ourselves and tackling new goals, you know. Um, but at what cost? Like that. So obviously, like everyone, feel free to like leave your comments, leave your questions. Out to GNM Gaming, they knew the pros and cons of tech from the get-go. They're in it for the cons, but they had to add the pros to get us on board. I hear that as well. I hear you. Because it was said yesterday that when technology comes out, like it's weaponized first before it's used as something practical. So I found that to be quite strange. Now, I don't know how much proof there is to support that, but I'm imagining the person who said it must have heard something or knows something, to be making comments like that. Obviously we didn't get too deep into it. Maybe we can get a bit deeper next time. Who knows? But yeah, I think like with what Papa G was saying about people, they now they got to be having all their picture up and look a certain way, and promoting yourself, and not everyone's trained in this area. Back in the day, like when we were seeing people on TV and on media, on videos or music videos or whatever, like a lot of the people, like they would have had a stylist, they would have been told what to wear, how to present themselves. If they was going into interviews or whatever, they being told how to talk, what to say. But now, a lot of young people, what they're doing is they're jumping right in the deep end early with all this social media, because they're right up there in front of the whole world, and they're not trained in what to say or what to do or how to act or what to wear. They're just making their best estimated guess. For some of them it works, for some of them it don't. So for the ones who it's working for, I can't really say that it's a bad thing, like that. Now, I don't know what anyone else thinks about that, but that's my personal, like, if it's not working for you, then maybe it's a bad thing for certain people, and that's why I think there's got to be a balance there, like that. Now, obviously, there's a balance with everything in life. Nothing, we're not perfect. So I doubt we're going to create anything that's perfect. If we do get to a stage of artificial intelligence, that's only going to drive us more to communicate with each other less. Like I've seen that film with Iron Man, and he's standing in front of the computer talking to the computer. Yeah. And the computer's like his best friend. He don't even need a friend. He's just got the computer talking to the computer. Yeah. Like it's in bare programs. Like people just talking to computers and robots and them things there. Like the robot's their friend. Like there was a film back in the day. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was a little rubbish looking robot. Like the robot didn't even look like he could do much. But he was still on things though. Was it Johnny Five? There was a robot called Johnny Five. Yeah. And this little robot, I think it's called Short Circuit is the film, yeah.
Man said Johnny Five, and we're taking back to the.
Hey, listen, big and serious. He was called Johnny Five.
That's the one that had the gun on his shoulder. You know what I'm there?
Understand, moving like he's Rambo, learning things. He was learning things, yeah. And at the same time, he was cool. We can see the potential that if there was a bad one, that could be really dangerous. Because he was cool. Johnny Five was cool, but his programmer was cool. So, like software said, it's gonna come down to who's programming the computer and X, Y, Z, like that. There's loads of things that have to be factored in, before we can really move into this next stage of robotics and
No, that's
technology.
definitely important. It's definitely important to who's actually programming it, because that's how it always goes in the film. In the films, there's always like, they had good intentions at first, and then it goes left, and then someone gets infiltrated, and then it's used for the wrong thing.
Yeah, or they got manipulated, something happened. Bottom line
Yeah.
is someone got in there with bad intentions and said, no, we're going to use this to our advantage. And the same thing with the short circuit.
Hmm.
Someone wants to use the technology to their advantage. The scientist who created the technology, he can see the potential for how dangerous it could be, more than likely. So he don't want it to fall into the wrong hands, and that's the real reality of the state of affairs we're in right now. Like, we don't really know who the right hands are, neither. How would you know? Because at the end of the day, a guy could, like you said, could have good intentions, but like in the Terminator film, the guy didn't have bad intentions. He was just programming robotics, and then the thing became self-aware. When it became self-aware, it's just done its own thing. He's not in control anymore. So, with intentions in the world, that might not be enough.
That's what happens if people try to play God, though, sometimes. That's why it's a bit of a catch-22, because there's disadvantages and advantages, and it can go wrong, just like we've seen in the films. It can go wrong. So also that the AI situation with technology now is the reason why that's a bit crazy, because they're saying that the AI can actually outsmart humans. So
Yeah.
that's a whole different ball game that they're messing with there.
Yeah, that's crazy. And if the thing can outsmart humans, how are they going to control something like that?
Because they're saying that with time, the AI will be able to get smarter than the people actually programming. But yet still, they still want to go through with it, which makes you wonder.
That I remember back in the day, Star Trek, and they had the robot guy. Do you remember the one I'm talking about, with the silver kind of, I don't know, face, like face paint kind of thing on him, but he's a robot, and he's like an android. But my man is like a super intelligent.
Do you know?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Things are cutting out, bro.
No,
No, I didn't hear you. Cut out on my end.
no, I was saying, do you remember in Star Trek they used to have the android guy?
Yeah, yeah. What what's his name again? Would he look like kind of goldish type?
Yeah, kind of a bronzy, silvery kind of bronzy.
Yeah, like a bronzy type color. Yeah.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about, though. Like, but
yeah, he used to save all of them.
Yeah, but obviously that is the ideal scenario with the AI, for it to turn into something like that.
Well, that was actually had feelings, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually had feet. I think that's his name, Data. Data.
Yeah,
his name was Data, and yeah, and he had feelings. Even I think he even had a partner in it. So yeah, they've been thinking about messing with this AI. Is it cutting out, bro, or something, Carl?
You're cutting out a little bit, but not badly still.
Why is he doing this though? Better.
Yeah. That sounds better. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, man, like, I think that's what they're really aiming for. That's the ideal scenario, anyway, as far as AI is concerned. Hopefully, that's what they're trying to model off of. In a sense that the robot kind of understands the logistics of life and certain things. So, he could be dangerous, but he chooses not to be dangerous because he sees it as the right thing to do, X, Y, Z, because he's learning from the people around him and experiences, of his environment or its environment, however you want to look at it in that, or it now, yeah. So obviously, I think that's what the ideal scenario is, but at the end of the day, that thing's a walking weapon, a walking, talking weapon. Yeah. Especially when you get into things like that film, like the Terminator, with the robot that can change into anyone at any time. That's dangerous, you know. And at the end of the day, if it's artificial intelligence, there's no limit to how far its intelligence can grow, and it's not going to die like a human being, like, like whatever the Einstein geezer's name is, man. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not that into science like that, but so imagine Einstein living forever. Imagine how much more information he would have accumulated and how much more dangerous he's going to become. You got to think about it like that. And then that's how I look at the AI. There's good sides, there's bad sides, but how is that going to be regulated? How is it going to be controlled? I think that obviously nowadays, in today's day and age, things move so fast, like business and stuff like that, that there is a need for things like social media and networking and emails and all of these things to make things move faster. So in another sense as well, you know I think it's definitely necessary to some extent to have something, you know but then in another respect, I'm still thinking to myself, that ostracizes people, that costs jobs, it puts people into boxes basically. And is that the kind of world we really want to live in? Do we really want to live in a box? Because I thought going to jail or living in a box, I thought that was supposed to be something we're trying to avoid. Yeah, sorry, I had to just take a little drink there, man. When you're talking for long, your mouth gets dry, no word of a lie. But yeah, like obviously we all know spending a lot of time alone, can lead to stuff like depression. um it can lead to all sorts of things, man. People getting anxiety, um people feeling left out. It can invoke all sorts of feelings. So obviously we still got to be mindful to that side of the argument as well. Because at the end of the day, if you just spend all of your time on your own every day, don't get me wrong, you can still chat to people online and stuff, but you never actually saw, I don't know, like physically saw or touched another person. Yeah. Like, let's say for a year, that's going to have effects on you. Now, I can't, like, don't get me wrong. I think some people would bear with it better than others, but I can't see it just not affecting a person. If we said for 5 years, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. But ultimately, you know, like the way social media is now, it doesn't stop us from having physical interactions with people. It just lessens them. But what's the next step with it? You know, are we mindful of it? Are we trying to control it and make sure that we're not getting too out of touch? You know, seeing if I can bring up something for you for me to read out to you guys, or you can read yourself on the screen, or we might play a video. Just having a look at some stuff, but it would be nice to hear from some more of you. If anyone's got any ideas that they want to share, feel free, jump in the chat room, leave some comments. you know, or jump into the actual chat and talk to us. Tell us what's on your mind. Tell us how you feel about it. You know, tell us how it's benefited you, how it's affected you positively or negatively. You know, share your information if you feel a mind to. Anybody out there spent too much time alone and, you know, seen the effects of that? How do you feel about it? You know, what do you have to share? You know, is anyone out there not getting enough time alone? So is social media a saving grace for some people? You know, like that. But we all have to think like what works for us. You know, the discussion isn't necessarily though what just works for us. So, you know, try to be a little bit diplomatic with your answer as well if you can. You know, like that, because it's not just about me, myself, and I all the time. It's about, you know, what would work for everyone, or what do you think would work for everyone? You know, obviously everyone's different. Like I said, some people might think spending a lot of time alone, great idea. I'd love to, you know. They might feel that way, innit? They might literally, like, who knows? I enjoy spending time on my own sometimes, and I enjoy spending time with other people. Out to GNM Gaming. He says tech can work for us outwardly, yeah, but inwardly, in our hands, in our pockets, to our faces, constant bombardment from Wi-Fi, occasional bombardment from microwave, chemtrails, as airplanes are tech. Okay, yeah, yeah. Keep them comments coming in, man. But like I was saying, like there's good and bad in everything, in it. I just think that people spending a lot of time on their own, you know, people get into their own thoughts, you know, not everyone's as stable as the last. So, you know, sometimes we do need to spend time
No,
together as well.
no, most deaf though, because there's a lot of people that require support daily. I'm having some technical faulties over here, bro.
I can hear you fine though, you know.
You can hear me? I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on, bro. Let me get out this car, man. Yeah, so basically, yeah, there's a lot of people that require certain services daily and help daily, you know what I mean? And they can't do that right now. And what about the suicidal people? So what we've got here, you see, technology is the key to a lot of different things. There's sad things about technology, there's good things about technology.
Yeah.
Obviously, the sad things about technology is that they've been having these technologies for years, and like we said the other day, they don't really bring it out for us to use when we really need it the most.
Yeah, this is it. They bring it out when it's good for them. And then, you know, looking at this article that I just pulled up on the screen, like I just thought like everyone could get a look at this. It says spending too much time alone increases the risk of suicide for young and old alike. Lonely individuals report higher levels of perceived stress even when exposed to the same the same stressors as non-lonely people, and even when they are relaxing. The social interactions of lonely people are not as positive as those of other people. Hence, their relationships do not buffer them from stress as relationships normally do. Loneliness raises levels of stress, hormones, and blood pressure. It undermines regulation of the circulatory system so that the heart muscle works further and blood vessels are subject to damage by blood flow turbulence. Loneliness destroys the quality and efficiency of sleep. So that sleep is less restorative, both physically and psychologically. Lonely people wake up more at night and spend less time in bed actually sleeping than do the non-lonely. So, that's just a little bit of information, but I'm going to be putting up some more stuff as well. I'm just looking through a couple of different articles and web pages.
Right. So not only have we got now that disadvantages and of people being on their own, stuff like that. It's like, what did you think? Do you think this is like they done this on purpose? Like, tried to like, what's your take on that, Shift? Do you think they done this on purpose, or what? What is the reason for this? Like, anyone in the comments? Like, there must be a reason for them not wanting us to be close together. Some people feel it's an energy type thing, like keeping our energies in a different direction. Because being around loved ones, like being around someone that you love, you're gonna have a different energy from just being on your own, or
Yeah. Yeah, but then obviously, I can't speak for the situation we're in now. If you're talking about, say, the COVID situation, I can't really
Mm.
speak like that. But in another sense of it, I can say this. If there is some kind of plot, to make us more stressed out, to make us more susceptible to something that's out there in the airwaves, then stress would definitely be increased when people are spending more time alone. The people who are more stressed out wouldn't necessarily notice it neither, because
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 we might be stressed out and we might not be the one who notices it. Someone else notices we're acting a bit odd, or we're a bit more excited than usual, or someone's frustrated us, so we're just going off on one, or whatever it may be. Do you feel where I'm coming from? But right now the stress levels definitely will be heightened when people are divided. And for instance, if you're a young person and you're stuck in the house right now with your parents and you want to see your friends, don't get me wrong, you're with your parents, you're with people, but you still might feel a sense of loneliness. So that's definitely going to affect your personality. It's going to affect everything that's going on around you right now. It's going to affect your ability to even obey the lockdown in the first place. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I think, like, obviously the phone does help in that respect, because at least people can still talk on the phone. We can still talk online and have our chat room, but it is nice to see people in the flesh sometimes. It's more real as well, to talk to a man and have a good conversation, or if we're doing business, we want to do that face to face. We don't want to be over the phone, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me just throw up another web page for you lot. So like, I'm just throwing up random web pages right now. I'll be honest, I'm not really scrutinizing them too much, but I'm just taking it as these are other people's ideas. I don't take anything as, the be all and end all, because there's all sorts of different facts out there, for people to go and find for themselves. There's all sorts of different literature and, other people, discussing issues and stuff like that. So don't take anything as, the be all and end all. So we're just going through what other people think on the subject, really. This woman said, I was 4 years old when I moved from the area. I spent almost my whole life in. I left my family and my friends, pretty much everything I do to help a friend with her daughter while she struggled through a late pregnancy that was
Wow.
potentially life-threatening. So there I was out in the filled with horses after spending 22 plus years before in a company climbing the corporate ladder. I went from boardroom to boardroom store. She said, I wasn't just it wasn't just life changing, it was completely out of my comfort zone. 3 bedroom house to a 1 bedroom trailer. Yeah, I hit rock bottom. So, you know, I think she's just giving an account of, a time where she may have felt lonely, and it doesn't sound like she was enjoying it very much, to be fair. I'm gonna be you know.
Because you know, lonely people, they like to go out and sit at the park, and they like to go and take walks and sit in a cafe, you know.
Yeah,
They might even go and sit in a pub. They might even go and sit on a pub on their own. You know, you've been to the pub before and seen people on their own in the
yeah.
past. You know what I mean? So
Let me read
that's
out
all
this.
helping them.
Yeah, let me read out this
What's
next.
going on, peeps?
What's
What's
going on, my
going
brother?
on, bro? We got the Session UK
What,
event.
Yeah,
what are
Make
we
sure
talking about?
everyone adds him on the Instagram as well. I'll put the links below. The Session UK.
yeah.
Big
Make
up,
sure
big
you
up.
add me on the Instagram too, man. And
Mm.
Panero, mind.
I'll put all
Yeah,
the
man.
links
Add
in
up
description.
everyone.
Right.
What are we talking about today then?
So we're talking about. I'm gonna put the question up for you again, so you can see the question in the chat. Hold on. So the question of the questions of the today are: does technology influence us to spend more time alone, and are the effects positive or negative? So that's
What's everyone talking about? The kids, yeah?
yeah, we've been talking a bit about the kids. We've been talking about the the games, and obviously we spoke yesterday about the loss of jobs through technology and certain other aspects of it. Not yesterday, day before. Sorry, my bad. So I thought maybe we could touch on the area again, but in a different way, in the sense of
Yeah, yeah.
the technology itself is making us more self-sufficient, don't get me wrong, but then it's putting us in a position to spend a lot more time on our own. So how does that affect us psychologically? How does it affect our relationships? How does it affect our
Yeah.
life in general? Is it better for some people? Is it worse for others? Like I was going
I
through
think
some.
you gotta just kind of not let no.
Go on.
Yeah, it can be tough sometimes still because I'm a married man with 3 kids and I do events, so I'm always on social media and it can cause arguments sometimes, man. Do you see what I mean? But sometimes you don't even mean it. On your phone, technology everywhere. Like I remember one time I was sitting on a train. No, I was on a train here and my phone weren't working, so I had nothing to do. And I remember I looked around here, and every 99% of that train heads were down in their phone.
It's gonna happen.
That's when I said to myself, yeah, that's when I said to myself, wow, but it's good and it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
that's why.
if I ain't got my phone,
That's why I put the question in the way I did. Like, is it positive or negative?
yeah,
Because I want to hear people's stories. Like, so
I
what
think,
we was doing right now, we was literally going through a couple of people's evaluations of lonely situations, like to see how they felt about it. Also, I've read a little bit of literature about loneliness, the effects it can have on people. And we were just going through some stuff like that. But if you've got some stuff to share with us, like, feel free. Like, I want to give you some space to give us your intake and outtake on the questions. But if you can, just try and direct everything back to the question, which is, does technology influence us to spend more time alone, and are the effects positive and negative? Yeah, and big up yourself as well.
yeah, I think it definitely can make you spend a lot more time alone if you let it. Even as a family, there's been certain times I come in the house and you're trying to sit down and have dinner. My son's on his phone there, my daughter's on the iPad there, and then I might be looking at something there. Then you look around, you're like, "Whoa, everyone has to put everything down for a minute." Do you see what I mean? I think it's about just having boundaries with it. Well, once you know it's kind of taking over certain parts of your life, you have to be like, "Well, I have to cool down there a bit." Like with anything, innit? Because at the same time, all this head in this technology is not good for your brain, bro. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying still.
I don't know. What's everyone else been saying now? I ain't gonna lie, I'm technology mad. I'm a gadget person. I love new gadgets.
Yeah,
I love gadgets too, and that's the flip side of it. That's how they draw
Do you
you
know
in,
what I mean? No.
And it's like,
Yeah.
and being humans anyway, you want to see something new. You know what I mean? So that's just a
Yeah,
natural
definitely.
thing. And people like fresh stuff, like new trainers, new clothes, new car, new gadgets. And then they keep bringing in the upgrade that does extra options. So it's gonna draw you to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now you get technology. You can walk in your house. You can turn everything on. You can use the Alexis now to turn everything on. This
You see what I'm
people
saying?
gonna So it's kind of like you don't want to deprive yourself as well. You deprive yourself. You feel like you're kind of behind. You feel kind of like think about it.
That's another thing. That's another
Right,
thing. You see what I mean?
right.
And it's not even a thing where you're watching people saying that you want that, but it does get
Nah,
to the point where you're like,
yeah. It's just
right,
like
you
when
know
you're up.
what? Let me just.
It's just like operating. It's like an operating system on a computer. If you don't upgrade it to a certain point, you ain't gonna be able to do certain things. If you don't update your phone,
Yeah,
you won't have certain options. That you want me to use it to the certain level. So
they made it like that though, innit? Because
yeah,
everything you need is in your phone. From WhatsApp
right,
to Instagram to Facebook, like
yeah,
they tuned us into
right.
this technology world, man.
Now you
You
can
see
use
what I
your
mean?
phone.
You order
You can
all
use
the
your
food.
phone in the shop.
Do
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? You can
yeah,
use your phone to order food. You can use your phone
right.
to order a cab. Do you see what I'm saying? They made
Mm,
us in tune to be this way. So these days, if you haven't got your phone, if I haven't got my phone, I'm lost. I don't know what to do, but everything's
no,
on my
it's
phone.
not. It's not. No, it's not that you don't know what to do. You forgot what to do because we come. Don't forget, we come from the era that there wasn't like phones like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, even that. You see
We
what I
come
mean?
from
So
postcard days, postcards. You remember postcards?
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember them days, yeah? Postcard.
Postcards, bro. Pen pals. I
Yeah.
never had a pen
Listen,
pal. I never had one.
you man mustn't.
Postcard, you know.
I know, Panera. I know you're definitely like me when your mum had the payphone in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you had no money,
All
you
that.
weren't making no call.
Come on.
Nah.
You see what I mean? And this is what I try to talk to my kids about when it comes to technology. Like, in a sense, I told them they're so lucky, but on the other hand, it kind of drives me mad sometimes because I try to tell them too much of that is not good for your head. Do you see what I mean? Because if my son had his way in his quarantine, he'd be on his PS4 from morning to night.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? And feel no
Yeah.
way, but he's not realizing that every hour you spend on this computer, no matter what they say to you, it's not good for your eyes, it's not good for your brain. Like if you look at your child after they've been on the computer for 3-4 hours, they look dizzy, bro.
Yeah.
You
Face like
know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah.
They look dizzy.
Can you not see the piece of literature that I've put up on the screen?
Yeah, but you got something over it.
What's over it?
Well, I'm on my phone. That's
Yeah,
proper
no,
small,
I
man.
can see it. No, I can see it. So, but you can enlarge it. You can enlarge it if you
You want me to
put
make it
two
bigger?
fingers. No, you can do it yourself on the phone. If you on your phone, you can use both your fingers and you can make it bigger, like zoom in with your fingers type.
I can enlarge it a bit here from my end as well, if it's really small.
Oh, yeah,
Psycho
yeah.
life,
Can you see that now?
isolation and loneliness, self-development. Some people naturally prefer time alone, and that can be fine. Roughly 50% of the population can categorize as introverts, meaning they get the most value in their life out of time spent on their own. Being alone can offer a rich psychology experience, but too much isolation can have a negative impact on one's physical and mental health. Let's explore the pros and cons. And that's true because you know what? I've had a few as I was saying, it's like it's a catch-22 because I've had a few people contact me and they're saying to me, "Oh, P, I've had this time has made me have time alone to read certain stuff or look at your videos and look into other things to open their minds a bit."
That's
So
why I thought it was necessary because obviously we're talking about, you know, the negatives, the positives and the negatives. So we don't want to just focus on negatives, but you know, we want to focus on both so we understand, you know, the effects. And then obviously, you know, we can then look at people then can look at their own personal situation, sorry, furthermore to the matter. And you know, you can analyze for yourself. Do you think that, you know, the time you're spending alone is more positive or more negative? So you know, there's still more there anyway if you want to continue reading.
Yeah.
Or
And I think with me, to be honest, probably 80% of it's very positive.
Yeah.
Because if I'm using my technology, I'm using it for a reason to gain something or to learn something, if that makes sense.
Does one of us want to read the next passage?
Yeah, all right. Okay, where we up to being alone?
Yeah.
All right, being alone increases productivity. Let's face it, people can be.
You've gone past it. You've gone past
No,
it.
I can't see it, Shiv. This is what I'm seeing.
Look at the top of the screen. Our brains need balance.
Oh,
Can you
sorry,
see
yeah.
that?
Oh, okay, you changed the page. I didn't realize. Yeah, so
Our brains alone allow us to recharge.
right, our brains need balance. While social interactions are crucial to certain areas of brain activity, time alone is necessary for our brains to unwind and recharge. Dr. Sherry Burke Carter explains, constantly being on doesn't give your brain a chance to rest and replenish itself. Being by yourself with no distractions gives you a chance to clear your mind, focus, and think more clearly. It's an opportunity to revitalize your mind and body at the same time. But that mixed with the 5G ain't too great, though, is it?
Do you think that's got more to do with? Do you think what you just said there, though, yeah, it's got more to do with like the person? Like,
it's true
because see that when if I'm planning an event, yeah, I might say today I want to do an event, but I might have 3 months to plan this event. Do you know those like first 2 months? I'm not even really doing much, you know.
Yeah.
See them last 4 weeks though.
Yeah, you're running around.
I work better when my mind's going at 100 miles an hour, if that makes sense. When I've got too much time to get lazy, but when I know it's time to move and get into that next gear, I kind of, you get me?
And that's why it differs for different people.
Work better under pressure.
Right, and that's why it differs for different people, because everyone moves differently individually. So there's some people that the time alone could have helped, and there's some people that they couldn't take it. You know, a lot of people right now are telling me the time alone is making them feel very tired. You know, so we can't tell people what to do with the time off. You know, whether to use technology or sit on your phones or whatever. Because that's another thing back to what you were saying about the gaming situation, is that it's kind of harder when they got games that don't end. Have you noticed that back in the day you used to complete a game and then move on to the next game, right? But now they got games that don't end, like, you know, Grand Theft Auto. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, the game doesn't end there forever.
Them games don't end. Like, you can just keep building up the character and getting this weapon. And even when you finish building, you can go online, innit? So it's like, it's not going to be hard for someone to sit on the computer the whole day.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's different times for different crimes, man. Different times for different crimes.
No, I definitely hear that still. So do you want to read the next paragraph, or are we gonna just stop there? Like, you tell me when you want to stop, because we can move on if you guys want still.
Where we at to being alone boost creativity? Is that where we at?
No, we're at the top. I just keep scrolling the screen down so you can start from the top.
Okay. Being alone increases Now, we done that one already.
No, we ain't done that one.
No. Let's face it, people can be pretty distraction. When you remove any distractions and interruptions as you can from your day, says Dr. Carter, you are better able to concentrate, which will help you get more work done in a short amount of time. Small interruptions from co-workers or family members can disrupt our train of thought and make it difficult to get back into the project. Even the ping of a text message or email notification can throw off our concentration and reduce productivity.
Yes, I would definitely say
agree. Definitely agree with that.
I agree with that still.
It's true.
Because sometimes you might get a text message come through, and you know you're busy. You're proper focused on something, and then all of a sudden it's broken focus because you're thinking, who just texted me, rather than thinking about the task at hand.
Oh no, definitely. Even when I'm doing videos sometimes and people start calling me, it can really throw you off, you know. It can 'cause sometimes you have to answer certain calls as well. You have to, you
Yeah,
know, so the concentration. And that's another thing as well. Having so much different technology can cause concentration slip, you
definitely.
know? And you know that as well, because you're a man that makes beats and stuff like that. And you know when you're making music, sometimes your phone might ring and you end up doing something else. So that's just, you know, it goes like that sometimes, you know? So the different amounts of technology, it would definitely throw your brain off.
Yeah,
But I don't know, the concentration, I don't know, it depends on some people's minds, man. People's minds have different type of, these days I find that people's minds, they concentrate on different types of things these days, you know? Concentrate on money too much, man. Money.
I tell you what, though, I think soon you won't be able to do too much without this technology,
yeah,
even
What
down to driving your car.
yeah, like your car
Like,
parks itself.
but even,
Park.
but well, that's what I'm saying. If you look at some of these new cars they're bringing out, the technology of the madness, you can put in the car and the car drives itself.
Yeah,
Do you see what I mean? So
yeah.
technology is we're gonna just everything's gonna be technology around us at one point. Like it is now, literally, but on a different level.
yeah,
Do you know what I
And
mean?
the more satellites and the more wires they put on the grid, and the more of these towers, it's all for the technology at the end of the day. You got man like
I think that you got with it, you got to be positive with it and kind of positive and kind of just go with the flow of it.
well, they're gonna have their way.
The 5G thing, I think we definitely got to be worried about that. Yeah, because that's a different conversation. But as far
Yeah,
as technology, like I couldn't survive without technology these days. I need it. Is like if you're a musician, if you're an actor, or whatever you do in life,
but if you
the
just want to
social
cook
media.
something, you need the
God,
tech.
what's that?
I don't know what that was, but I'm just saying that if you even just want to cook some food, you need technology in it. Like there's a lot of
That's
technology
what
that
I'm saying.
we would miss.
The other day, it's funny you say that. The other day, me and my daughter wanted to make donuts. We've never made them before. We just Googled it. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
It's crazy. It's as easy as that. Before you had to go out, pick out a recipe book. You get me? Find the page. Now you just talk to your phone. What's the recipe for donuts? You see what I mean? You can before you imagine like 15 years ago, if we would say, yeah, boys, we're going out this week, we're going to Manchester. You know, someone had to be the navigator.
yeah,
There had to be one person that was staying awake and saying, yeah, don't miss our next serve. And that person had to be able to read maps. You know what I'm saying? Now you just get in your car, type in the postcode, take me there.
yeah, definitely makes
I'd
life.
be, I'd be lost with those little bit of technology. If they was to take them things away, I'd be lost with them.
See, I was all right before the sat nav came in. Like, I don't know, I was good with roadmap. I didn't really need sat nav like that. But obviously, I see the productivity of sat nav is being able to update that thing regularly. Like, and it gives them the ability to to map out certain places where they've built new houses, new things, what weren't necessarily
Yeah.
in the book before. Do you know, like
The
that?
downfall, though, it does make you lazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when you're thinking about what you're doing, you're just being lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because back in the day, you had to remember where you was going. You know, you had to
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
You had to remember things. Whereas nowadays, you don't have to remember nothing. Satnav's doing all the work, isn't she? She's
It does
talking
all the work.
at the
You see
next
what I
junction
mean?
after 2 miles. Come off at the second exit. You know,
You see
she's
what I'm
telling
saying?
that.
And take you anywhere. Your sat nav will take you from your house to Amsterdam,
Yeah,
all the way there. You see what I mean?
we'll wait for
Technology is
them thing there.
like the more we talk, I'm thinking we probably got more positive out of it than negative.
Yeah, to some extent, and
When it
obviously
comes to living words.
but this is why I wanted to read through some of the literature as well, because looking at this article here, this one supports more alone time, whereas some other ones are going to support more time around other people, but like I
What
said,
are they? Yeah.
like there's got to be there's definitely going to be a balance either way. It's just is the phone destroying the balance?
Yeah, I think it's like anything if you let it, isn't it? If
I think
you're in a relationship and you're always on your phone 24/7, like most women moan about, it's gonna be an argument, isn't it?
you're gonna come to
Until you
compromise.
say yeah, until you learn to compromise, there's always gonna be an argument. Like I guarantee you, when I come with this and I go upstairs, I'm gonna get a dirty look because of this technology now we're using. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's true. Technology is
That's
it's
just
a
being
50.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us have got women at home now. They want us with them right now, just to watch TV, the boring shit they're watching. But because of this piece of technology here, I know me and Pinero are going to be getting dirty looks. You get me?
Yeah, you lot go back. Anyone that's on the show, go back, go to your woman and look at her face. And see what screw face you're gonna
That's
get.
a negative part of it.
I don't want to see no screw face right now.
You see what I'm saying?
But it's true. It's a
Thank you to this
50-50.
technology.
It's a 50-50 situation for real. Because like even things like the internet, even some of the things that that we see happening in different countries, you wouldn't even know that's happening right now because of the internet. So now everyone's always talking about
100%.
right, and everyone's always talking about news shows, propaganda. So we have to rely on these self-media guys that put up their videos and people that even right. Go on, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Technology through this quarantine kept me and my family smiling because
it's true.
no, I say it was real too, bro, because my little sister was in hospital with this COVID thing, with this coronavirus.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we had no contact with her. But see little things like WhatsApp video call and everything there, that kept us nice, you get me? Because you might not be able to see each other physically, but at least you can see each other on the phone and kind of just keep each other's spirits up. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for me and my family, that part of technology at that point was definitely a blessing, bro. You see what I mean?
Man.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, they're telling people to stay away from people. Yeah, definitely. So
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
remember when we was younger, if your mum had to phone Jamaica or wherever your family's coming from, abroad.
Yeah.
Remember how much they charge you for them phone calls, bro?
Yeah, them phone calls are serious, man.
Now you just do all by Wi-Fi, plus you can see them.
Yeah. And then the first thing, the Skype thing come out. Yeah, the Skype thing come out, and then all these different video things came out. Loads of different videos.
See, you see what you said there, man. See, you see Skype, that changed. That changed video. That took
they
video
changed it forever. Yeah,
to a different level.
Yeah.
I forgot about Skype story. Get me?
Because a lot of business, remember used to have like Skype business in it. So that a lot of businesses was using Skype, and then we started using a bit of Skype. And another thing you got to remember as well, you get some of these things for free. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard not to use it. Like, look at WhatsApp. WhatsApp's got the video thing now, and you can call abroad. And like Peter said, them calls that we used to make back in the day, they used to be expensive, but now they're free. Now you get a free video call. So, that's how they.
Could you imagine the time? Could you imagine like this present time here right now, this quarantine with no technology?
People were going crazy.
Like, think about that.
People of this time would be going crazy. But if you grew up without,
that's what I'm saying. If we're living today in this quarantine, but we've got no technology, we've got basic TV 1 to 5 again.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't forget 1 to 4. 1 to 4. Channel 5 come out in like 99 or something.
Like picture living like that. And this is what I tell my kids is like, what they've got these days, they're so lucky. Because growing up, I would have loved to have a PlayStation. If you don't want to play the PlayStation, you play your Nintendo Wii. You don't want to play Nintendo Wii, you go fly a drone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If you don't want to fly a drone, you go on your pad. You go on your little desktop thing and watch internet. You know what I mean?
Even the scooters now got motor. My scooter was plastic, bro. Plastic wheels. None of this fancy like just go on there and pull the lever back and it takes you to the shop in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Get me?
Yeah.
Like, technology is a good thing, man. We need to put our heads together and come up with something, bro. That's what we need to do.
Technology is a good thing if it's used in the right way.
Exactly that.
You know? Because you know what, Shiff, you know what I'd like you to do, Shiffa, yeah?
Go on.
There's a part of the video that I did want you to show the other day. So you see that same video with all the robots?
Yeah.
There was a video, there was one right at the end that I wanted to show how it can be really used in the wrong way. And basically, if you scroll to like, if you can put it up at some point and like just scroll to like the last robot. And what it was
I've got a cousin,
capable of.
Curtis. I don't want to say his name, yeah? Sorry to cut you, yeah?
Yeah.
But see my cousin, yeah? He'll build you the baddest compute PC you want. Whatever you ask him for, he'll throw some madness on top and just I can't even talk his computer talk, but he's a genius when it comes to building computers.
Right.
But no disrespect to him, he's one of the biggest weirdos you talk to. Because all he does is sit in his room and play these games on his PC and build PCs.
Oh yeah, I got a bridging like that in East.
So many years in this PC world, he just lost all social skills.
That is his world. That is his world.
I don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is his world. When he's in that world, he's in that world. No.
Yeah.
That might be an underlying depression. You never know, man.
You start talking computers to him though, and the guy's a genius.
Bloody hell, bro.
Take him out. Like you've been bare places with me, Benel. You've not seen me nowhere with me once.
Right.
But them man just don't want to come out.
Yeah.
But you man, I've got a bounce, you know.
Which video is it?
All right, man. Big up the Sessions UK. Everyone, I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, man.
Make sure you add the Instagram page and whatnot. Big up yourself, brother. Thanks for the input and blessings.
Was it this?
You man, keep this thing up. This page is live, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thanks, man. Blessings.
You get me? But I'll catch you, man, up soon. Take it easy.
All right, man. Bless up, bro.
Yes, brother.
Was it this video?
No, that's the Elon Musk one. That's the Elon Musk one. It should be the. I think it's Let me see. It's too many videos. See. Scroll down a minute. Is it up or down? Oh, no, it's up. You're right. It's up. Now scroll down a little bit. Where's the video? Scroll down again. Keep going. Keep going. All right, stop it there a minute.
This one here?
Yeah. Click on that one. Click on that one if it's that one. Yes, go to the end, sort of like. Yeah, keep going there. About there. Keep going. Click it there. Keep going a bit more. About there. Click about there. Yeah. Oh no, that's the robot. That's the robot workers right there. But it's towards the end though. Look, these are look. You see these? Look at this. Now it might be a beautiful thing, you know. Like, it might be a beautiful thing having robots for the company. It would be a beautiful thing. But what about the rest of about the workers? There's no workers there. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something to think about. But if you keep scrolling,
all of that. So
you're talking a lot of unemployment. Even though I understand what the Sessions is saying, it works for us both ways. Fast forward it a bit more.
They have. Israel has the hand of God. You know that. You don't need to get on these videos, you know. million views. They want to look at the comments and see how you lot feel about it.
I don't even think it's this video. I think I've got guys. I think I've got like 3 videos on robots and AI. So Shif, I don't think it's this video, man. But I've got a video basically of a Russian robot that's trained to shoot, and it actually shoots, and it's actually used. People are saying that they're seeing them deployed. So I just wanted to just put that out there. So that's a version of technology that is definitely not a good advantage for us, you know, or used against us.
You know, unless we got our own ones, you know, we definitely going to be at the disadvantage. 100%. Yeah, it's crazy. But obviously, different types of technology, you know, they don't look so sinister on the surface, you know, like that. And that's why I wanted to get into, you know, the effects of actually spending more time on your own, you know, doing everything on your phone, not interacting with people anymore, you know, programming machines to do everything for you. So you don't even need a cab driver anymore. You can just order up a Tesla taxi and it just comes to your door, just arrives there, you know, with no driver. You jump in, it just drives you places. You ain't even got
that reminds me of that film Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it went. The taxi. Remember they ripped the taxi thing out of the car.
Yeah.
But that's how it was. It's like that, and everything was programmed to move at a certain speed, and that's how it looks like they're going. Obviously Tesla, they got that situation already, but you know, it's very pricey. Obviously, not everyone can acquire it, but that is definitely where they're looking to go.
Yeah.
But why though? That's what I want people to wonder though, like, because technology requires it to be bought, right? Money.
Yeah.
So why is it that is it dangling in front of us? Would you say it's dangled in front of us, like on a fishing rod?
To an extent. Yeah, to an extent. It's made to look very attractive, and it's way, way overpriced in certain fields of technology.
Right, and the thing is, the reason why I say that is because we need to ask ourselves, when it comes to technology, and does the benefits outshine? Does the advantages outshine the disadvantages? Because I'm sure that there's been a lot of breakups since social media.
I hear you. I can't really comment on that one. We could do the statistics.
Yeah.
I could look that up for you. I'll be prepared.
Well, it's, you know, this is like, no, I'm telling you, because it's like, it's very easy to access somebody's partner now, you know. It's like, you know, it's like, I just wondered if the benefits, it works both ways, but is it outshining the goodness? You know what I mean? Because we're talking about children being too focused on computers, you know, and in the technology. We're even to the point of where certain people are calling their children and you can't even hear them. They're really zoned into what they're doing. Like I said earlier, relationships, you know, social media relationships. You know, I don't know. But it's the catch-22, like I said. But having time alone is definitely something that everybody needs anyway. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we all need time alone sometimes, man. Not all the time, but definitely we do need, you know, we need a balance. We need a balance.
I personally feel that in this day and age that we live in now, I think it's good for people to have time alone, because I feel that a lot of people live their life kind of like, no disrespect, but not like fake, but they live it kind of like an alter ego type life, a lot of people. And so when they do get that time alone, at least they can still reflect on who they really are. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Because, you know, people can really, with this social media and stuff, people can really pretend they're living the type of life, you know, like make themselves look, because like a lot of people, they post their happy moments, you know, they post their happy moments. They post more of their happier moments than their dark moments on the internet. So And then I don't know how to say this as well. I don't know how to say this. I'm not trying to. I know I shouldn't be looking at all the negative side of it, yeah. But we got to cover some of them. So like one thing that kind of gets me is that, and I don't know how to say this. And guys, I'm not trying to be like rude to anyone or anything like that, right? Or I'm gonna try and say this the best way I can. So you have certain people that got like 25,000 likes on their pictures, right?
Yeah.
Right, Shift? Like females, right? And then you get some females that have only got like 6 likes on their picture. Maybe they're not really glowing as much, maybe. I heard about a few months ago that they were actually saying, I don't know if you know about this, but they was actually saying that they was going to get rid of the likes on Instagram.
Really?
Wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't it me and you talking about that one time? I think it might have been me and Sonny, but they was going to get rid of the likes completely, but they didn't go through with it. I think that situation with the likes can actually cause people to have a bit of a, look at themselves a bit sideways. You know what I'm saying, Shiv? Because I think that causes depression. And I was reading an article on it, and you guys can try and look it up when you get a chance. And it's on my Panero's Mind Instagram page about they're saying that these social media is causing people depression because they're looking at other people's views and they're viewing their life like they ain't nothing. But the other person that they're looking at is faking their life.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's for another whole new chapter. But I don't know, man. Definitely time alone is definitely a good thing to have. And right now, like I said before, we got all this time right now to get close to God, innit? Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if people are really seeing what's going on out here, but I'm sure everyone that's logged into this chat right now knows what's going on. And it's definitely time to wake up. Gully Yanko, big up yourself. So it's definitely a time to wake up, and everyone should be using this time to get close with God. I'm hearing a lot of people doing this and doing that, but I'm not really hearing anyone getting close with God. I personally feel, Shift, that this time that we've been given as well was given from God as well for us to sit down and recollect. So this time alone, to me, it is annoying not being able to go to the gym. It's annoying not being able to go to work and do certain things. Well, I can work from home, but it is kind of annoying. But you have to make the most of it.
Yeah, definitely. You have to make the most of every situation in life.
That's it. And like the sessions we were saying earlier on, there's enough technology in everyone's house for us to do that.
100%.
That's why we're on this show right now. That's why we can do this right now.
So do you, obviously with the question of the day being, does the technology make people obviously spend more time alone? Obviously we are kind of all in agreement with that so far. And obviously, as far as is that a good or a bad thing, we're just saying depending on the person. Then just to summarize a little bit. So yeah, I think like anyone listening, hopefully you got the point of it anyway, and you've got your own thoughts on it. You're gonna go away, you're gonna think about it. You can come back tomorrow and tell us what you think if you like. We'll probably have a new subject to the day, to be fair, but either way, innit? Like when you feel like talking it. Like, if anyone's got any comments to leave a comment. If anyone wants to jump into the chat, I'm gonna post the link for the chat again. So it's been posted again for you, just in case anyone in the YouTube wants to get into the chat. Just look in the comments. And yeah, like, I think it's definitely got its positive and its negative sides at the end of the day. I think it can be
Definitely.
dangerous, for some people though. So it's definitely something we should be mindful of, because, when we get into things like people who aren't mentally stable, people feeling
Hmm.
suicidal and stuff like that. You know, those are the dangerous sides of it. So as much as we got the upsides, we still got to look at the downsides and be prepared for any consequences that may come, you know, with the more advancing of technology, more advancement of technology, whatever the word is. So yeah, big up everyone for, you know, leaving their comments. Big up to GNM Gaming. Big up Torok. Obviously, big up yourself, Panero's Mind. You know,
All
for
day.
the channel. You know, out to Nadia. Yeah, and just like everyone who's been on, you know, tuning in every day, listening and dropping a comment. You know, getting involved in the chat and just playing a part. Like, we appreciate you, man. Don't ever think we don't.
Most definitely. And don't forget to click on Shiffa's new video. Can you pull your video up on that screen and play it?
Yeah, I can pull that up, man.
Your new track. Well, it's been out for a minute, but you can go and find it on Spotify. The links are in the description.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, guys. So if you didn't know, Shiffa's been a rapper, and you know, we used to do music together, but we're trying to stay focused and do music that really applies more to what we talk about from day to day. You know, so 'cause you know we're growing now. You know, we can't really be putting out music for use that it's got the same things that we're talking against. You know, so yeah, this is Shifty's track. Life is hard. Yeah, big up to that tune, man. Big tune, big tune. No, it's a big tune, and it's very motivational, and that's the main point of it. You know, motivation. Like, you get kicked down once, you can get kicked down twice. Not physically. I'm talking like, you know, I ain't talking physically, but you know, but you have to keep on going. You know what I mean? Come on, we've been doing this for years. Like everyone, like, I'm sure everyone that's listening in, like, we've been doing this for years. We've been fighting for years, and that's the truth, isn't it?
This is it.
Don't you think, Shift?
Definitely, man. Yeah, I think at the end of
So,
the day,
so anything that we go through in the next couple of years, we've already been through worse than that. We've already been through worse than that. You know,
yeah,
that's the way it's built for us.
at the end of
And
the
then when I
day,
say built for us, I ain't talking about just black people.
yeah, of course not, of course not. Like, all I was gonna say is, like, you know, when you're down on your face, or, you know, you're at the bottom, the only way you can go from that point is up. So, you know, never lose hope. Don't never give in. You know, keep going at
Right.
whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Live your dreams. You know,
Facts.
do what you feel is right for you. Don't do it because it's right for someone else. Because you might get there and be blaming people because you're in a situation you don't even want to be in.
That's it, man.
You know, like that.
Live and learn. Live and learn. You know your circle as well.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Because if your surroundings ain't right, especially in this day and age right now, if you don't know who's who right now, then you got a problem on your hands. You know, you stay focused. You know, I don't know if you've lot been noticing the clips that have been going around lately, all the stabbings and this, that, and that. People are losing their minds out here. So we have to stay focused. Keep your prayers up. Like, maximize those prayers. But say it with meaning. Say it with meaning. Time to yourself is definitely important, but what are you going to do with the time to yourself?
Yeah, 100, 100. So yeah, I hope that everyone's learned something from, you know, the first half of, you know, this week. You know, from all the subjects we've been going through. You know, obviously the discussion today was based around, does technology influence us to spend more time alone? There's the question. See it there? Are the effects positive or negative? Now, everyone can make up their own minds. You know, we've given you a bit of background, we've gone through a bit of literature. I honestly think, in my honest opinion, that for most people, it is going to be more of a, there is going to be more of an upside to it. I think that the real downsides to, you know, the technology is not going to hit the majority of people, but you know, there are downsides to it that could hit the majority of people. If they ever came into play, you know, we might be wishing we never invented this technology. That's the truth of it. But you know, that's just speculation. That's not fact. So don't take that as fact. That's just speculation right there.
Yeah,
So out to Southeast Rays, big up yourself, big up the man.
big
Them.
up.
Done know. Yeah, fam. Like I'm thinking we might call it an early one tonight, you know, because we've had some
Yeah,
nights.
yeah.
We've had
You
some good.
know, and what you guys have to understand as well sometimes is that we don't have to go all night all the time. It's just,
Yeah,
you know, we put out what we need to put out. And it's not, and the reason why as well, we're going to call it early night, we don't want to jump to too many topics.
yeah.
That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to jump to too many different topics to try and frazzle your brain. Because
And
we
it's
want
hard.
people to be able to walk away and, yeah.
Come on, it's hard for people. Like I understand some people's gonna come on here, and obviously you got other things on your mind that you want to talk about, and that's why I'll
Right.
keep reiterating to people that please relate it back to the subject because we want to stay on the topic. Like you know, we put the topic up there so you know we can really deal with some issues. We can really go through some information, share some information, and make ourselves stronger.
Hmm.
You know, information is your armor. You know, just like when you're going to war, you know, you're putting a bulletproof vest, you load up bullets, and you know, you get in a tank. You don't just get in any car, you know, because that's your armor. That's what's gonna keep you alive. That's what's gonna keep you thriving, you know. So hopefully everyone's taking the information away with them and utilizing it in the best way possible. You know, from today's show, I'd suggest, you know, if you know someone who's very, very introverted, you know, maybe sometimes try to get them off of the technology. You know, if someone's very extrovert and, you know, they talk a lot anyway, they socialize a lot anyway, you know, the technology might actually, it might be more helpful to them anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's only the people who it's damaging to that I'm worried about.
Yeah. That's it.
Out to
And
Hugo, bless the team doing it from the heart. Come on, that's normal around there.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're not like them other channels. Man. We're not. And I ain't even, you know, I see what I watch you other channels. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. You know, I see how you promote your things and yeah. And I ain't talking about Valley Vision, man. People them get down Valley Vision, check him out. He's doing his thing. Yeah, um, but yeah, we're just doing this from the heart, man. So we don't do it for the money. And we could be doing other things right now, but you know, we feel that this is important time right now.
Come on,
And where everyone's in their house right now. God, big up her.
Gully and Co. Yeah, he said, "Love, big up yourself. When you go through struggles in life, only makes you a better person as long as you have a strong mindset." Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, without a strong mindset, it's not. And this is the whole point of gaining knowledge. Um, it helps you to get a strong mindset. It helps you to get your mind ready for something that you might see that someone else might see and might not be ready for, and they might have to take it. You
That's
understand what I'm
right.
saying? So
That's right.
when you know something is coming, it's gonna. I'm not saying that you're gonna be completely like not bummed or nothing, you know, but you won't be completely not scary, but it will take away 50% of it. Trust me,
And it will
it will take away.
also increase your reaction times because you know what a lot of people fail to take away with them sometimes is, you know, there was a time we were all babies, we are all kids in school, you know, learning from a teacher, and there was a
Mm,
lot of times where teachers were teaching us stuff, and at the time it didn't mean anything to us. It's like, why the hell do I have to learn this? Like, you know, but then later on in life, when in a particular situation, that information became crucial, it became vital. So,
right.
you know, all information is useful. So, like I said earlier, if you're on the show and we're talking about something that might not be your cup of tea right now. You know, tomorrow might be your subject, you know, so don't feel no way. Let everyone have their time. You know, different people want to talk about different things, and feel free to make suggestions. Like, I'd like people in the chat room, you know, especially to start. Like, if you've got something you want to get off your chest, if you've got a subject you think we should be covering, you know, feel free to drop them in there. We're not the news. We're not ITV. We're not BBC. We're not Sky News. You know, we don't deal with Sky News like that. We just talk about things that we think are important. You know, so if anyone else feels that anything is important, you know, bring it along. If you saw something on the news and you think, you know what, this is something you guys should be discussing, like bring it, like put it forward. You know, why not?
That's it. And yeah, and subjects, yeah, anything that, yeah, because we want to do this for you guys, innit? So it's not like, see, what I want you to look to understand is that we got some guys out here that want to like discuss things to make themselves sound smart. It's saying about that. That's not what we're doing over here. So if you have anything that you want to discuss, we'd be more than happy to take 20 minutes out of the chat to talk about it. Why not? Like, why wouldn't we do that? Like, you can sit down and watch us and take time out of your time. And we can do that. And anything in particular as well. And we like people to be particular because they're the points that we want to cover.
Yeah.
The things that you're sitting down thinking about. They're the points you want to cover. So definitely, like, send your messages, even DMs, even you can have one-on-ones with both of us. You know, you can have discussions in our own time. Anything you can bring to the table, any help. You know what I mean? Because help is always needed. We have to help
Yeah,
each
man,
other.
come bring your dilemmas. We don't mind as long as like you don't go too extreme with the dilemmas. You know?
Yeah.
Certain things
Yeah,
we don't.
like don't be asking me for no money. No, no, I'm playing, but don't be reasonable. Be reasonable. You know, be reasonable.
Yeah, keep the
And we are
story.
up for helping. We are up for helping as well, and we are trying to sort out a charity. I'll be honest with you, I've been saving up a load of stuff to give away for charity, and we kind of got hit by this coronavirus thing, and I don't just want to take this stuff to the bins outside Sainsbury's and all that. I actually want to make sure someone gets it, you know. So hopefully, like when things die down a little bit more, I'll be able to do that. You know what I mean, Chef?
Yeah.
Because I like to give things directly when I'm doing charitable things, and we ain't them guys as well that's gonna film it and put it up on the channel. We don't get down like that. All right. We do things for the homeless all the time, you know. But I'm not gonna be filming it and putting them on camera because it's bad enough that they have to sleep on the street, let alone put them on camera sleeping on the street.
Yeah.
Right. So, but everyone they do their things. You lot should know when you see certain things how to really read between the lines sometimes of who really is righteous and who isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's real. All right, so everyone out there, like, I hope you're having a blessed evening. You know, hopefully some of you are still working, still getting that corn. You know, you can feed your families. If you're not, like, you know, be strategic with what you've got around you, innit? Like, you know, let's think strategy right now. Let's think winning strategies. You know, like we're all on a team. It's a football team, and we need to win this game. So everyone's got to, you know, do their part and play their role to make sure we're winning. You know, outside of that, you know, I just want to say thanks to everyone for joining. Thanks to everyone in the chat room. You know, thanks to everyone who's joined in every day, or even if you just join now, it don't matter. Like, thank you, and I appreciate your support. You know, we appreciate the comments. We appreciate the
Right.
interactions. You know, tomorrow will be a new subject. You know, if it's your subject and it's something you're passionate about, make sure you jump in and chat with us. What's happening, Gold? Yeah, I hear you. Yesterday did go slightly south, but it was positive on the whole, definitely. So bless up yourself as well. But we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 8:30, as we did go until about 3 something in the morning last night. I think we need a bit of time to rejuvenate. So, you know, the subject
Definitely.
say, you know, I think it was in depth enough, you know, for the time that we had. You know, tomorrow it might be a much broader subject. So what we're gonna do the same process again. I'll start
Mm-hmm.
up early. I'll play some music. We'll put the question of the day up. Everyone get your pens and pencils out. You know, your pads, your iPads, your laptops, wherever you're getting your information, your books. Yeah, and then let's get busy on the subject. So, you know, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna spill the beans, but tomorrow should be a good subject for everyone. I think, you know, no
Mm.
matter what side of the fence you're standing on, it should be something that you can get involved with tomorrow. So
Friday night session. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bear that in mind.
let's have a good session Friday night, and let's
Yeah,
interact more as well. Let's interact with the people as well more. You know, even if you just want to say hello, jump up and say hello, and then jump off.
yeah.
You know, it's cool. Like, we don't mind that.
And we can go a little bit later tomorrow. I don't mind if people want to stay in the chat and talk for a bit longer. You know, it's all up to you, you know. So stay focused, stay positive, keep doing what you're doing. Be here tomorrow, 8:30. What we'll do is I'll probably start from a bit earlier than 8:30. I'll put the
Mm.
question up if people want to jump in early and read the
Yeah,
question and start getting ready for the show. And I'll put the link for the show there as well if people want to get in the chat room from early. And yeah, just, you know, all in all, you know, like, thank you for watching. You know, have a great night.
yeah, man. You might as well run that. You might as well run that track again as an outro.
You want to hear the track again?
Yeah, you might as well run the video as an outro.
Hold on, let me run the track again. Can you hear it properly from
Blessings.
that side though? Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, blessings to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And tomorrow we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some energy tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna go crazy with it. Bless to everybody, and don't forget to have a listen to Shifty's track. We've got more tracks coming. Any artists out there as well that you want to put any tracks on the page, right? And I'm not promising you any you know, promotion. You have to do that on your own. But if you want to put your tune on my page, and it's like, you know, something that involves what we're talking about, yeah, we don't mind. We'll take them. All right, then. Bless. Peace.
Yo. All right, people. I think we're done. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Yeah, 8:30. Try not to be late. Bring yourself, bring a friend. Come and talk with us. Hold up. I don't know what's happened there. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so tune in tomorrow, and you know, we should have a good discussion on our hands. It's been nice having you. I'm gonna go back to making a beat now. Big up man like Panero's Mind. Yeah. Loving the support, loving the channel, how everything's gone so far. Out to Vedi Vision as well, yeah. Like, big up everyone who's been supportive of us. Full stop. You know, like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna get into some of this. You know, like that. See what's going on around there, yeah? Gassed right now. But I gotta turn it down though, because I got neighbors and them thing there. So when you're hearing tunes at the beginning of the show, you know where they're coming from. Yeah. All right, everyone, big up yourself. I'm out, yeah? Good night.